Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Either way, I'm super excited to have you here. Today I'm brought you into my kitchen because we are going to be making 4 winter soups that you can use to prep and keep stored in your freezer for all of winter long. I'm gonna have 2 soups that are cooked in the crock pot and 2 soups that are cooked on the stove. All my recipes, they're simple ones and they're absolutely delicious. And I'm going to be showing you my hack for how I store these soups in my freezer so they don't take up a ton of room. So if you like this type of content, I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get into it. First up is this delicious crock-pot beef stew. I know there are a ton of beef stews out there, but I feel I have one of the best, and you're going to find out my trick here shortly. You're going to want to start by spraying a medium-large size crock-pot with some nonstick spray. And then you're going to chop up 1 onion and add that to the crock pot. Then you're going to peel and chop 1 pound of carrots and about 8 medium-sized potatoes, and then add those to the crock pot as well. As this is a stew, you might want to keep the vegetables in larger chunks, but it's totally your preference. After we put the potatoes in the crock pot, then we are going to take 2 pounds of stew meat, and then you're going to season it with 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and then a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then you're just going to mix that really well. And then you're going to take it over to the stove, and in a large skillet on medium-high heat, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then you're going to sear the stew meat in small batches. And you're going to add each batch as it's done to the crock pot. And after we are done searing all of the meat, we are going to take 1 cup of this beer to deglaze the pan. I am using Budweiser, but you can use whatever you want, or you can omit this. However, I strongly suggest it, as the yeast in the beer really brings out the flavors and the alcohol really breaks down the meat. And next we're going to do 6 teaspoons of that better than bouillon beef base with 6 cups of water, and you're going to add that to the crock pot along with 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and then 1 packet of this onion soup mix. I love onion soup mix, it's so versatile. After adding that soup mix in, I put in just a little bit more pepper. Do not add any more salt, you don't need it. And then you're going to cover this and put it on low for 8 to 10 hours or until the meat is nice and tender. Checking in on the stew. The stew has a little bit longer to go. I'm going to give it 1 more hour. It's been in for about, I would say 6.5 hours, almost 7 hours. I'm gonna let it cook for another hour, and then I'm gonna add the peas to it, and then give it 1 more hour with the peas in, and then it'll be done. And after that hour is up, I am putting this half a bag of these green peas. You can use the whole bag, or you can omit this altogether. It's totally your preference. And then I put that back in for another hour with the lid on, and then now here it is. It is all done and ready to be served up. This meat is so tender, and this stew is so flavorful, and it will get you through those long, cold winter nights. This is my favorite stew. This next soup is highly requested and super popular amongst my family and friends. This is old grandma soup. That's just what we call it. I came up with it when I was craving a good old-fashioned vegetable soup one day. You are going to start off with 1 chopped onion. Oh boy, here I am. I'm dying over the chopping this onion. And then you're going to do 1 pound of chopped carrots. You're going to do 1 bundle of chopped celery, leaves and all. Yes, I washed it, even though it's not showing it, I washed it. Then you're going to do 1 head of cabbage and about a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh parsley. And then in a large stock pot, you're going to add all the chopped veggies along with a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes in tomato juice and all. And then you're going to do 6 cups of V8 vegetable juice. Then you are going to do 8 teaspoons of better than bouillon beef base, whisked together with 10 cups of water. Then you are going to do 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, then adding 1 bag of frozen corn and 1 bag of green beans. You are going to taste it and adjust the seasoning with salt and pepper to taste. Then you are going to bring it to a boil. While that is cooking, you are going to chop up 2 yellow squash and 2 zucchini in large chunks. You can totally omit any veggies that just aren't your jam. That is the absolute beauty of this soup. Next, you're going to add everything to this stock pot, and then you're going to cover and simmer everything for 2 to 3 hours. And then once those 2 to 3 hours are up, you're going to add 1 bag of peas, and you're going to cook until tender. You're going to adjust the seasonings once that's done, and then serve it up. You could totally make this soup vegetarian by using a vegetable broth. Or if you aren't a beef-based fan, you could also use like chicken broth. The soup, there I am getting down. I love this soup so much, you guys. It's so good. It's just super versatile and you really can't go wrong. The only thing I say you have to use is the V8 juice. It's just a must for flavor and consistency with the soup. But this really is so easy and simple and very delicious. It's so good on a cold winter's day when you're just needing to get your veggies in. It is very popular amongst my entire family. Just look at how beautiful this soup is. It would be paired so well with like a grilled cheese sandwich on like a cold night. Oh, it's so dang good and so versatile. Okay, this made a lot of soup. It is so stinking good though, you guys. Oh my gosh. These 3 are gonna go in the fridge for like us to eat over the next few days. These 2 and this 1 are gonna go in my outside fridge. First of all, they're gonna have to cool down for a few hours. Do not ever put warm food in a fridge until it's almost at room temperature because you'll get bacteria and it's just food safety, not good. So I'm gonna let these get nice and cool, and then I'm gonna put them in the fridge, and then tomorrow I'm going to freeze them in batches, and You're moving on to Crockpot split pea and ham soup. This soup is so yummy. It's really, really simple but crazy delicious. You want to start off by rinsing your peas and removing any imperfections. Then you're going to soak them in a pot with at least 2 inches of water above the peas the night before, or at least 12 hours before. And you're going to want to keep those peas in the refrigerator. You cannot leave the pot on the counter. It has to be refrigerated. Then the next day you will drain and rinse the peas and set to the side. Then we are going to peel and finely dice 6 carrots, 1 onion, and then finally dice 4 stalks of celery. In a large bowl, you're going to whisk together 4 teaspoons of better than bouillon chicken base with 4 cups of water. In a large crock pot sprayed with nonstick spray, you will add the peas along with the veggies. Next, we are going to add the 2 ham hocks, half a teaspoon of ground dried thyme, 1 bay leaf, and then we are going to top with that chicken base mixture we made, and about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Then you're going to cover and cook this on low for about 8 hours. Or high for 4 hours. When the peas are soft and the meat is fall apart tender, we're going to remove that bay leaf and then remove the ham hocks. You're going to discard the bones and the excess fat. Then you're going to shred the meat and set to the side. Now you're going to blend the soup with either an immersion blender or the old-fashioned way, like I'm doing with my NutriBullet. You're gonna need to blend your desired consistency, and then you're gonna add back to the crock pot along with the shredded meat. You're gonna taste and season it to your desire, and then you're gonna serve it up and enjoy. We served this along with some really crusty, buttery bread, and it was so delicious, and it was even better when you would dip the bread in the soup. And I am telling you, this soup tasted better the next day. Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was so good. I'm still dreaming of this soup. It is so velvety and delicious. Now I'm going to show you the hack that I did with all the previous soups and this soup as well. I take the soups and I put them in a silicone muffin pan, And then I let them come to like room temperature, and then I stick them in the freezer and freeze them overnight. And then the next morning, I just use a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. I say what it is and the date on it, and I just pop them out and pop them in the freezer. This is the best and easiest way to store soups. Next up is my take on an old classic, chicken noodle soup, my friends. So easy and so comforting. Starting off with a large stock pot, add a whole rotisserie chicken to the pot, along with half an onion roughly chopped, 4 stalks of celery, 1/4 cup of parsley also rough chopped, 1 cup of white cooking wine. You can omit this, but I swear this is the secret to the best tasting chicken noodle soup. You're also going to get 4 carrots and quarter them. And then we are going to whisk together 6 teaspoons of better than bouillon base, along with 6 cups of water, adding it to the pot and seasoning with a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We are going to put this on the stove, cover it, and bring this mixture to a boil to make the most flavorful broth ever. And then while we are waiting for it to boil, we are going to chop the remaining veggies. Starting with about 6 stalks of celery diced, plus finely chopping the heart and the leaves, adding it to a storage bag along with the rest of the 1 pound of carrots that have been peeled and chopped, and a 1/4 cup of finely chopped parsley. We're going to set this in the bag and put it in the fridge until later. Now when the veggies are boiling, we are going to reduce the heat and simmer for about 2 to 3 hours or until the chicken is falling off the bone. Now that the meat is falling off the bone, we are going to drain the broth into a very large bowl through a colander to catch all the big pieces. Then we are going to put the chicken to the side and remove all the bones, excess fat, and cartilage. Then we are going to rough chop it and add it back to the pot along with the broth, the veggies we prepped earlier, the remaining 1 cup of white wine, salt and pepper to taste. We're going to cover and bring it to a boil, then reduce the heat and simmer. Once the veggies are tender, we are going to add an 11-ounce bag of frozen egg noodles. I swear by using frozen egg noodles, using the regular dry ones soaks up way too much of the broth and then they become mushy and don't hold up for leftovers. The frozen egg noodles stay so perfect when heating leftovers and they freeze really well. When the egg noodles are done and tender, the soup is ready to enjoy. This is the best chicken soup ever. I swear by it, and I've had many compliments on it as well. It would be so good to serve this with some homemade rolls, and trust me, my friends, you will thank me later. And that's gonna do it for today's video. I realized that I never introduced myself or my channel, and I have you guys propped up on a table right now, and I'm in my closet. But I wanted to take this opportunity to go ahead and introduce myself. Hi, my name is Tiffany. I am a 30-something stay-at-home wife and mom to 3 kids. I have Kobe, who is 17, Chase, who is 15, and Clayton, who is 13. And I've been married to my husband, Nate, for almost 19 years now. And on my channel, you are gonna find all things homemaking. So cooking, cleaning, decluttering, organizing, day in the life. So if you like that type of content, I hope you will consider liking and subscribing and joining my community here on YouTube. I post what I hope to be motivational and inspirational videos every single Saturday. They get you up, get you moving, and get you tackling those to-do lists. That is going to do it for today's video. As you can see from the beginning of the video to now, I did a thing. Chopped all of my hair off the other day. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I cut my hair. I am so happy with how it turned out, and I have zero regrets on it. I've had my hair super long for a really long time, and I was just really over it and needing a change, and I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad that I went ahead and did it. I am going to post the recipes for all 4 soups in the description box below. They are so delicious, and I hope you will give them a try. But I will see you in the next one. Take care, and bye for now.